Uh, Abstract brainwaves, game genie in the beanie. We ain't on the same stage, leveled up. The epitome of technique, can't survive in my current thought.
Other yellow hat guy here, back with another video. And we got another sympathy for. And this one I wasn't really looking for. It just kind of, how the news is just the news. We've got Scott Cawthon. I think it's just Scott Cawthon. Who is that guy? He is the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's. I've got an article here from Forbes, and while I don't like to pull up anything from Forbes because their website, like a lot of people's, is littered with ads, but hey, I guess I should just buy the magazine or something. Not that they would ever show this in here, but here's the article here. You should see that on the side here. They actually have an audio version there. How about that? But anyway, Scott Cawthon, the creator, I'm just going to read this to y'all. The wildly popular jump scare video game franchise Five Nights at Freddy's has retired amid controversy and scandal. What that scandal is, I'll read this to you here, and then I'll give my feedback on it, okay? Cawthon's retirement followed revelations that the Five Nights at Freddy's developer, or FNAF, as I say, had made numerous financial donations to Republican candidates, including Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump. Okay? Again, this is what he did. I'm not giving my opinion on either of those two guys or the Republicans or any of that in this video, all right? Because part of what I want to say is that shouldn't matter. And some of you are like, but it does, yellow hat guy. I'll get there. I'll get to you in a second. The only Democrat, okay, so it says when the community discovered these donations, backlash ensued. The only Democrat Cawthon has donated money to is the controversial Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard. Okay, many in the LGBTQ community, which comprises a large part of that fan base, the FNAF fan base, viewed this as an affront. So they were like betrayed, kind of. That's how they were feeling. Supporting political candidates that the community, you can read it, views as harmful to LGBTQ Americans sparked anger and a sense of betrayal amongst fans, as I just said. The backlash quickly became a massive overreaction. Cawthon was doxxed, his private information leaked online, and he began receiving threats. All right? So this is what he says. He says, "My wife is 6 weeks pregnant, and she spent last night in fear because of what was being said online. She's already been struggling with her pregnancy, so seeing her so afraid really scared me," Cawthon wrote in a long post in his subreddit after the controversy started gaining steam. Okay? He goes on to say, "All of this because I exercised my right and my duty as an American citizen to vote for and support the candidates who I felt could best run the country for everyone. And that's something I won't apologize for." But you kind of are? Okay, he didn't say I'm sorry, but your retirement is not you saying you're sorry? What's going on here? Cawthon did not apologize in his post, but he did make it clear that he supports LGBTQ fans and that his financial support for these candidates had nothing to do with gay or trans rights issues. Here's Cawthon explaining at length why he voted and supported for these candidates. So if you really aren't sorry, you don't really have to explain. It's just what you said. Hey, I voted for these guys who I thought were the best, and that's how I see it. This is what I am. And leave it at that. But no, he has to double down by saying what he says here. "For those who took the time to look, you saw that the candidates I supported included men, women, white people, black people, Republicans, and Democrats, even if it's just that one, right?" And then Tulsi Gabbard also doubles as that woman there. But he supported Kimberly Kalsick. I can't pronounce that, but Kim, whoever this is, Kim K, not the Kardashian one, in Baltimore because I believe that she really cared for the African American community there and wanted to pull them out of poverty. Okay. I believe she could have really made a difference in a time when so many black communities were struggling. She lost, unfortunately. I supported Tulsi Gabbard, a Democrat, even though I disagree with her on several issues because I felt she would have been a good and fair president. And yes, I supported President Trump because I felt he was the best man to fuel a strong economy and stand up to America's enemies abroad, of which there are many. Even if there were candidates who had better things to say about or say to the LGBT community directly and bigger promises to make, I believe that their stances on other issues would have ended up doing much greater harm to those communities than good. All of this explanation, I fear, is wasted as people don't want to discuss with one another anymore. True, they want endless apologies and submission. Also true. People who are expecting those from me will get neither. Yet, we can take your retirement as both of those things. You submitted by retiring. Because what you really would have done is said what you said at the beginning and kept it going. Said, I'm sorry if you're offended or whatever, but this is where I come from. I got nothing against you. And kept it going. But no, you had to go explain. You know that one guy who's always, I'm not racist, but, and they're racist anyway? Or I have nothing against gay people, but, and they're secretly gay? It's like that. He continues, I'm a Republican, I'm a Christian, I'm pro-life, I believe in God, I also believe in equality and in science and in common sense. Somehow he's in tune with all of this, right? Believe it or not. Despite what some may say, all of those things can go together. Okay, see? He saw that I was questioning it there. That's not an apology or promise to change. It's the way it's always been. If I get canceled, then I get canceled. I don't do this for money anymore because, he doesn't have to. I do it because I enjoy it. If people think I'm doing more harm than good now, then maybe it's better that I get canceled and retire. No, it's one or the other, bro. You get canceled and then you can't afford to retire. Or you retire so you don't get canceled. You chose to try to retire before you got canceled, even though you didn't really get canceled. You canceled yourself. But more on that later. I would accept that if I had a fulfilling career, besides most things that people can take from you are things that never had much value to begin with. I can see that. I understand that. Many in the FNAF community supported Cawthon, even while disagreeing with his politics. Many expressed disappointment and anger. The community was divided on the issue, with some posting hashtag I stand with Scott or hashtag thank you Scott on Twitter, and others calling for him to resign. Opinion makers opined or whatever, and members of the industry threw in their 2 cents for good measure. So here we got a guy here. It is one of the core goals of the Haunted PS1 to support marginal developers. We pride ourselves on. It is for this reason that we feel the need to make a statement about the recent events around this guy. Okay, yeah, so whatever. Yesterday he made the announcement that he was no longer be involved with Five Nights at Freddy's on his website, noting that he would choose his successor. Basically, it's like a Papa John's move, where it's like, I'm going to choose Shaq, but I'm still kind of in the mix, even though I don't have the title. I'm still getting residuals, royalties, whatever. So he's saying he's passing the torch and he's thanking the community for a blessed career. Awesome. So you got some people coming out here like this guy who had a thank you Scott Cawthon, and they're showing he released a Freddys in space to raise money for St. Jude, and all kinds of good stuff here. And despite all of these things, guys like Markiplier, they continued to play and blah 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 blah. So there's still another chapter of the game, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, that's in development. So we'll see how that plays out. I think that's everything. Thank you, Eric Kane, for this article, and we'll end that here. So here's my take, as my computer is being pretty loud while it's rendering another video. Okay, Scott, if you somehow see this, which I doubt, but maybe one of your followers, viewers, whatever, they see this and likely disagree with me, and, you know, I don't know. However you feel, take this as you will. I don't believe people are, like, canceled in the way that you say. Like, I'm more Review Tech USA. Review Tech USA. Rich said this. He said, hey, you know, this is not what canceling is. Canceling is when, you know, you do something and it's warranted that you're out of there. You stop making money because they stop supporting your craft, right? That's how you're canceled. It's like, hey, I'm no longer watching Kevin Hart or something like that, right? You weren't canceled. Nobody quickly said, hey, we got to boycott Five Nights at Freddy's. That was likely coming. But you chose cowardice, in my opinion, because you said what you said, and it's good to know how you feel. I don't think anything you said was inherently disdainful. You were just stating your background, your beliefs, which you were entitled to. But if you felt there was nothing wrong with them, why even do all that? It wasn't necessary. So you weren't canceled, you canceled yourself. That's the nit and gritty of it. You canceled yourself, and maybe your reason was, you know, an admirable one. Hey, I care more about my wife and kids and all that. Truth is, in spite of that, if that's, you know, that could also be great. My computer's on the fritz. You made enough money to where this doesn't really matter anymore. You're good. If you were still struggling, up and coming, probably would be sticking around, I think. So let me know what you think in the comments. Do I feel sympathy for Scott? I actually do, only in the sense that you guys are out there doxing him. Come on. That wasn't necessary. I know, you know, he didn't have the views you wanted, but that's not grounds for doxing him. Did he say something mean against LGBTQ? No, he didn't say he hated you guys or anything like that. He might have exploited you to a degree, but hey, you can agree to disagree. He can still like and love you guys as you are and not agree with, you know, what you do. And that's his prerogative. That's how I look at it. I don't have to share his views to understand that doxing him is not the best move. Trying to cause strife or not strife, but you know, stress to, you know, his wife was not the move. But at the end of the day, Scott didn't have to go into more detail to over-explain the situation. I think people got it, and the people who were, you know, more extreme on one side were going to act the way they were going to act, and then you're going to have some sensible people on both sides who acted the way they did. So in that regard, it's like, hey, I feel sorry for you on that. You didn't deserve the doxing and everything. But on the other hand, it's like, all this stuff was public knowledge for a while. So I don't know how it got out to be a big deal now, except maybe because names like Trump and McConnell are, you know, just so polarizing. I don't think it would have been as bad if it was like, oh, it was Republican people, you know. It was more polarizing than just hearing that, you know, he loves Chick-fil-A. Feel me? That said, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know who you want me to do a video on next. And I will see you guys in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, share. You got to share. Share the video. Share it to Scott himself if you can. Hi, Scott. Love to see you guys again, but if I don't, remember, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Other yellow hat guy out. Captain Sensation.